This part 2 of our CAD modeling training video. So we are now in chapter 4 wherein we will discuss further the plane reference geometry and using of this command with go together with the sweep and circular pattern and fillet command. So plane reference geometry is creating a sketch out of not doing or referring to the standard planes or in top, uh, right, and front plane. So I have already discussed this before on my previous video that we don't need to depend on those planes and we have to create our own in order to make our sketch easier and will be more uh, not dependent on the three planes that are available. So how can we do this? First is we have to make a sketch 40 by 40 square and extrude it to 80 mm. Okay, so first select open a part. Then after opening it, make sure that our units are in mmgs. So then select a plane. So let's refer which plane did it use, front plane. So in the sketch, but I forgot to change my units, so I have to go back. So sketch and make a rectangle, no, a square that is 40 by 40 and extrude it to 80 mm. Okay, this one, yes. Okay, so after doing that, we have to make a new plane where we're going to create. It's not very special, but it's meant to show you the interface. Click Picture tab and Reference Geometry tab, and we will make a plane. And notice that if we select a flat surface, we could project a plane. Okay, so let's hit the space bar and select isometric view. Space bar. So let's select isometric view. Where is the isometric view? Bottom. This one. So I have a different orientation. So once we have that, we have to project a plane. Click the surface. You notice there's an offset plane which is 10 mm. So what we need is to put 30 mm plane. And once we have this plane, click normal to, and then we go to this plane, then sketch, and we have to make a circle which is the diameter is uh, based on the amount is 10 mm from the center. So we have to create a center line and click the point, control, and the line, make midpoint. Then smart dimension, put 10 mm. So notice we are not in the part model, we are in plane 1, so we have to extrude it. Right, so if we use blind, it will project extrude on this side, but we could adjust it by reversing the direction. But now we have the opportunity to use up to surface. I just select this one and it will project the its sketch to up to this surface without putting dimensions. Okay, so I just click it hide, so with obstruction. Next, so if you want to update the view, just make it as updated, and I will hit the spacebar button. So update standard views. make it bottom. Then once I use symmetric, it will not already move up. Okay, then we have already the cylinder already drawn. Now we have to project a circle on top of the square, which is 20 mm diameter, and extrude it to 50 mm. So we have to sketch and create a circle. So using the sketch button, smart dimension 20 mm, then extrude it to 50 mm. So once we have extruded to 50 mm, you have already the cylinder. Okay. Next is we have to create a temporary axis wherein we have to create a plane again by using temporary axis and from using another plane. So give the plane an angle of 40 degrees. So we will go to view, hide and show temporary axis. You can see there's an axis shown. So we'll use that at reference. So plane, click the axis, and we have to select right right plane as, a, as per guide, and pertaining to the PDF we have to give the plane an angle of 40 degrees. Okay, 40 degrees. So click this one. Okay, once we have set that, could adjust the plane here, then click normal to. Then what we will do is to sketch on the second plane, which is you have to project 5 mm in the center, in the middle part of the sketch. Select this one. So I have to make center line. Create, find the midpoint using O snap. Then smart dimension 5 mm. Okay. So this is how it was projected, sketch. Then after making that, we have to extrude it to 25 mm. So extrude, select the sketch. So 25 mm. Okay, once we have that, we have to create a circular pattern, then make it 3, rotate it to 3. So select the axis, you have to select this axis and make the part rotate. So as you can see, I'm seeing some differences in the projection of the shaft. So just correct it later. So create circular pattern. So you have to select the axis, this one. Then features to rotate. So if not equal spacing, it will you need to specify the angle. But if equal spacing, 360 divided by 3. Okay. So notice this is fronting the area. So I have already have the circular pattern. So you can see the model is different as shown here. So we have to reverse the plane here because it's pointing on a different side. So we have to flip offset. Right. So after flipping offset, now we have the correct orientation. All right. Now we have to create a fillet which is 5 mm. So fillet, put 5 here, then select the edges. So once you have selected the edges, you have your fillet. So let's hide the plain. So you have this one. Then we have to create the angle or the fillet part of the model. So we could use the sweep, but if I were to use this, I just make a continuous path in here rather than creating a drawing. But for demonstration, maybe this manual make a long method in drawing it. So if I were to draw it, I will continue to make a sweep from here up to here. But for the matter of demonstration, maybe the PDF suggests to do it in long method. So how to make that profile? So first is we have to make a plane. Let's assume we don't have a plane existing, so I don't need to find out. So I will click the first side and the second side, and I will be able to have a plane in the middle. So I normal 2. Okay, then I have to sketch on this plane 3 and project a line. So we will have, then we have to make it connected here. So using point and this edge, control, point, control, this edge, and you will see the pierce. So it will be an error, coincident. Oops, sorry, there's prior connection here. So coincident. We use coincident. Create normal to create normals. Okay, so normal 2. Then what is the dimension stated? So this the dimension is 60 and 25 mm fillet. So smart dimension from this one to this side is 60 mm, and we just make it connected here or coincident control, so make it horizontally aligned here, and we have to make a fillet which is 25 mm. Oops, sorry, 25 mm, and select this one. All right, so as you can see, we could create a sketch here or a sketch here. So in the matter of creating or developing a new sketch or a new skill, so we could select this sketch, this flat surface, then convert and select this edge, and you will able to copy the sketch here, which is the circle. Then you have already the profile, and your this is the path as discussed on the first video. Okay, so we could make a sweep using the profile and the path. Then we have this one. Already have this feature, and you just need to hide this one. All right. So after making that, we already have the model for our chapter 4, which is this one. So this is the chapter 4 model, reference geometry. Save it. Reference geometry. Okay, let's specify a material. You could do that and create the measure the mass in the evaluate and mass properties. Okay, continue chapter 4. So we have to create a new part, which is again 40 by 40. So file, new. So let's begin that it should be mmgs. So what plane? Top plane. So we have to make a square again, 40 by 40 mm. Again, extrude to 80. So hit the space bar and select isometric. Okay. Then after selecting that, let's go to the geometry tab and click plane. Select the left face and the back edge of the top face, second surface, and give the plane a 45 degrees. So plane, select this one, then the edge, and angle 45 degrees already set here. And after selecting that, select the plane in feature manager and click sketch on the new plane, sketch the profile on the plane like in 83, and click the feature tab and select extrude cut. So we have to make a circle 20 mm. So create normal 2 and sketch circle, smart dimension 20 mm from the edge 20 mm, then select this 40 mm, then after that select extrude cut through all, then you have your ready the cut out for your model. So did I select through all? No. So through all, so it did not cut, so we have to make two directions, so it will be totally cut out. So control 7, hide the plane, then we have your cutout as shown here. So we have to select this one, no, this one. So this has been already cut out at an angle. Okay, so next will be chapter 5. So chapter 5 will be rendering and adding different views in the drawing. So this basically uh, activating the photo view 360 and make a render for the photo view 360. So first is you have to minimize this one, then open again this file, then right click on this one, toolbars, you have to go to the add-ins, then select photo view 360. So once we have the photo view 360, we will have the render tools that we could do. So we could add and change appearances using that render tool. So let's find this one, this logo. So here, called alter appearances on this one. Okay, so since we polish aluminum, brush aluminum, there's several choices that we could do. Metal, aluminum, polish aluminum, brush aluminum course. So could alter that by applying those one to the model. So let's try. So for example here, uh, we add this one. So when you select this one, this is brush aluminum. Okay. So appearance, history, decals. Brush aluminum. So we have already the history as shown here. Okay. So once we have that, could also put decals on the model. So and create an ambient light, spotlight, directional light from the model. Then also we could add materials to your model tutorial. Tool add-ins, go to tab, Photo View 360. Could put chromium plate. So could add this one to this model. So let's go to the put a material first, in carbon steel. So we are already alter the decals here. So if you want to change the color of the cylinder, right click and select the face, the boss extrude, select the color. Could alter this one. If you want to alter the color of this, could also select the circular pattern, make it blue, and also if you forgot to consider the pattern, select this one. So in rendering, we could also apply a scene of plain white and also shadows, perspective here. And we could also do a final render for our model. So notice that there's the render button will be open. Okay, for a more realistic model. So the render is not that good. So yes. So let's make another render. Um, add a camera. So could angle the camera here. View, perspective view, could adjust where in the camera, depth of field. Here's the camera. Could adjust this one. How is it focus on? Could alter that. Then do final render. So also make a preview for your render. As you can see before you finalize it. Save previous image. Save it. Okay. So I think that's all for up to chapter 5. So you need to practice this one and creating your own rendered parts.